Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learn with Dr. Kizar. This is the part 13 video of income from capital gains. In the previous two videos, we started and solved problems on long-term capital gain and short-term capital gain. In this video, we will further continue with few more problems on capital gains. So without wasting much of our time, so let us start calculating the problem. So here it is, the problem number 3. So if you have not watched my problems of part 11 and part 12, kindly visit the videos and you can watch. Okay, you can see the I button on the screen. You can click that and you can see and watch the videos. So here is the third problem. From the following particulars furnished by Mr. Vivek, resident, compute his income from capital gains. So clearly they have asked that to compute his income from capital gains. So we need to calculate capital gains for the assessment year 2019-20. Date of purchase of house property 1/12/2000. Cost of acquisition 2,50,000. Cost of addition in 2000 25,000. Fair market value as on 1st April 2001 is 3,50,000. Cost of additions in 2004-5 it is 77,700. Sale consideration 30 lakhs. Stamp duty value is 54 lakhs. Cost inflation index is given for 3 years. Dear friends, here if you see, they have given the details of house property. So as we understood in the previous problems and in the theoretical part, that while calculating income from capital gains, we need to consider what type of asset it is. Because there are 3 types of assets based on which we compute the nature of capital gain, whether it is short term or long term capital gain. So if you have not watched my video of different types of asset, kindly visit the theoretical part. I think it's video number 2. Okay, you can watch there. So here house property is a other asset. There are 3 assets, type of assets. One is financial asset, depreciable asset and other assets. So house property falls under other assets, right? So the criteria for other assets is 3 years. If the assessee is holding the property with him, it will be short term. If it is more than 3 years, it will be considered as long term capital asset. So if it is long term capital asset, we need to calculate long term capital gain. And if it is short term capital asset, we need to calculate short term capital gain. So here let us see how to find that. So here date of purchase is given in the year 2000 and date of sale is given in the year 2018-19, right? So it is more than 3 years. So from 2000 to 2018-19 it is more than 3 years. So this asset is a long-term capital asset. So let us quickly draft the format here and start the calculations. So computation of income from capital gains. Assessee is Mr. Vivek. Status is resident. Clearly it is mentioned in the question. Previous year is 2018-19 and assessment year is 2019-20. So to start with the long-term capital asset, because the purchase is in the year 2000 and sale is made on 2019, so it is considered as long-term capital asset. So here gross sale consideration we are going to take. What is the value of sale made during 2018-19? So the asset was sold for 30 lakhs. right? So that 30 lakh rupees we need to take here. But here along with this they have given the stamp duty value. So instead of sale consideration, whenever they give stamp duty value, we did not take the sale consideration, we need to take the stamp duty value. So the stamp duty value is 54,000. So here that we have to take 54,000. If stamp duty value is not given, okay, in that case we will take only the gross sale consideration directly as we did in the previous problem. Hope this adjustment is clear. This was the new adjustment what I wanted to highlight to you people in this video. Instead of taking the sale consideration amount, if it is stamp duty value, okay, in that case you need to consider stamp duty value, you should not consider the sale consideration value. Okay, 54 lakhs is the stamp duty value. With this you are going to subtract the realization expenses, which is not available in the question, it is nil. So you will get 54 lakhs itself as net sale consideration after subtracting the realization expense, which is not there in this problem. Because this asset is long term in nature, so we need to do indexing of cost of acquisition. So indexing of cost of acquisition, how you are going to do? Here is the format or formula for that. The revised cost of acquisition divided by cost inflation index of the year of acquisition multiplied by cost inflation index of the previous year in which the asset is sold, right? So here let us see what is the cost of acquisition. So cost of acquisition given here is 2,50,000, right? Because the property was purchased before 2001. Okay, so in that case, in the year 2000, this property was acquired for 2,50,000. Okay, because it is before 2001. Okay, that's the reason, because the cost inflation index will not be available before 2001. It will be available from 2001 to onwards. So that's the reason we need to compare cost of acquisition with the fair market value as on 1st April 2001. So these two values we need to compare, cost of acquisition and fair market value. That is what we will get the revised cost of acquisition. Okay, so let us see how to calculate this. So cost of acquisition is 2,50,000 as saw. Fair market value as on 1st April 2001 is 3,50,000. Whichever is highest among these two, that will be considered as revised cost of acquisition. So among these two, highest is 3,50,000. So 3,50,000 is the revised cost of acquisition. Now, as per formula, revised cost of acquisition we calculated divided by cost inflation index of the year of acquisition. When this property purchased, this was purchased in the year 2000, correct? For 2000 we don't have cost inflation index. So in that case what we need to do is, we need to just one second. Okay, we need to calculate the cost inflation index. See here, you can see in the table it is starting from 2001, right? Before this, if it is there, then you have to consider the base year as 2001 cost inflation index, that is 100, right? So in that case, here in this problem also, cost inflation index of year of acquisition will be considered as 100 and cost inflation index of the year of sale. Okay, it was sold in 2018-19, so for that cost inflation index is 280. So if you substitute this, okay, you will get the answer. Let us see, 3,50,000 divided by 100 multiplied by 280. You will get 9,80,000. This is your cost of acquisition. Hope this is clear now. Then next we have to subtract is indexed cost of acquisition. In the question, two indexing is given, that is two cost of additions are given. Cost of additions are nothing but your cost of improvement. Okay, so here he has spent some amount in the year 2000 for alteration or for modification of his house property. He has spent 25,000. Remember here, in case of cost of improvement or cost of addition, amount spent before 2001 will be ignored. and amount spent after 2001 shall be taken, and if it is long term it will be considered for indexing. So here in this case of 2000 it will be ignored completely, 25,000 will not write. And one more cost of addition is there in 2004-5, that is 77,700. This we are going to do indexing. You can see here cost of addition in 2000 is ignored because it is in 2000 before 2001. Cost of addition in 2004-5 we need to do indexing because it is long-term capital asset. Here is the working done. So index cost of improvement equals cost of improvement divided by cost inflation index of the year of improvement multiplied by cost inflation index of the previous year. So in the year 2004-5 they spent amount of 77,700 in the name of cost of improvement, cost of additions, whatever you call it as. Then cost inflation index of the year of improvement. Already here also they have given the improvement year was 2004-5 and cost inflation index is 113. So that 113 you are going to take, and previous year's cost inflation index you are going to consider. So let us see the calculations. 77,700 divided by 113 multiplied by 280. So if you do, you will get 1,92,531. Okay, that you are going to consider. So now you got even index cost of improvement also. So now with net sale consideration, you are going to subtract the cost of acquisition and index cost of acquisition. If you subtract, you will get gross capital gain, that is 42,27,469. And there is no information on exemption, it will be nil, and final answer will be taxable long-term capital gain 42,27,469 rupees. Hope this problem is also clear. It is very simple to understand. If you have doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to solve your doubts. Stay tuned with this channel. Okay, further we are going to do more problems on income from capital gain and we will understand practically. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.